Greetings, and welcome to our I.R.D.I. Business Group News and Media channel, where we discuss real-world issues that are affecting America and you. Before we begin, we would like to let us make one point clear. We are a patriot organization. What we mean by that is our mission statement to protect our nation, shield and support our businesses, and defend humanity is founded firmly on the principles of service of Lieutenant Colonel Dornford Walker of the United States Green Berets, of 23 years serving as Special Forces Green Beret Advisor to Secretary of Defense Robert McNamara of the John F. Kennedy administration. Our material is not to garner likes, it is to inform. What you are about to hear is not theoretical, it is not speculative. It is based on documented findings, active case reporting, and a multi-year investigation into a coordinated cyber threat environment impacting American businesses and individuals. Available evidence indicates the presence of a structured, multinational cybercrime operation, with activity traced to Japan and alleged financial linkages associated with entities connected to the Kingdom of Bahrain. This is not isolated activity. It is assessed to be a coordinated system, one that has established persistent access to financial accounts, business operations, and, in multiple cases, full identity replication without immediate detection. Since 2023, findings indicate sustained intrusion activity, extortion patterns, and unauthorized financial extraction targeting American individuals and companies. The financial impact is measured in the hundreds of millions. The operational impact is deeper: business disruption, forced closures, and long-term economic damage. This is not a single group operating in the background. Subsequent analysis suggests a distributed threat infrastructure, multiple cells operating in coordination, scaling activity across regions, and refining methods over time. Thousands have been affected. Businesses have been pushed beyond recovery thresholds, and this is where the situation escalates. Over the course of this investigation, identities, locations, and operational patterns associated with these threat actors have been documented. That information was escalated through formal channels. It reached the appropriate authorities, yet according to available evidence, enforcement action within Japan's jurisdiction has not followed. That gap matters, because while enforcement stalls, the activity does not. It expands. In our previous report, findings suggested that capital generated in the United States market is being redirected into external regions, including China, where it may support counter-aligned economic positioning. In this report, we move from pattern to case. A formal case was submitted to the Federal Bureau of Investigation. What followed exposed a jurisdictional fracture, one that leaves American businesses operating inside an active threat environment without coordinated protection. This is not a distant issue. This is an active exposure, and for many, it is already too late. America is under attack. Mr. Walker has been living and working on behalf of American industries in Japan for over 10+ years. First received the ransom notice on January 31, 2023, and alerted the U.S. Embassy in Japan of the attack. The embassy team directed him to promptly contact the FBI. Upon contact with the FBI, they informed Mr. Walker that because the crime took place in Japan, he would have to report the crime to Japanese law enforcement, as the cyber instances took place in Japan's jurisdiction. Mr. Walker's primary concern was to protect California wineries. For example, one of our California wineries supports over 700 wineries nationwide. This expanded presence of function for wineries in relation to the industry as a whole, both statewide and nationally, makes shielding wineries a high priority upon contacting Japan's law enforcement. Despite the detailed evidence provided to Japan's law enforcement, refused to investigate, which means Japanese law enforcement put precedence of national image to the world as a higher priority than upholding the law and protecting American industries, leaving America out to dry. That was completely unacceptable. That for the last 70 years, post-World War II Japan has received billions of dollars from the United States, including technology. We knew the suspects' names and addresses and provided researched records, yet Japan refused to investigate the criminal group. This blind spot in American global cybersecurity measures was the reason why our Global Cybersecurity Division was formed. Through our internal investigation, we saw that hundreds of transactions a day were being processed into their cryptocurrency account. Each victim was paying $1,000 a day under the extortion scam. That is $540,000 a day. Now calculate that for every day for 3 years. Bear in mind that the number is prior to the criminal group engaging fully with California and moving into targeting other businesses throughout the United States. In 2024, members of this multinational group were detained. Melissa Dawn Chans and Larry Ralph Rea Jr. was arrested in Placer County, California. Larry Rea, who skipped bail, is presumed to be in proximity to the Japanese head of the crime syndicate. Americans have a hard time imagining the scale, magnitude, and size of this criminal group. On July 17, 2025, 1,000 cybercriminal actors were detained in Cambodia. Now take that number and apply it to the regions that we tracked in India, Bangladesh, Cambodia, Russia, Vietnam, and Japan. There are hundreds of cybercriminal camps working under the direction of the head cybercriminal group in Japan. Understand that for developing regions of the countries stated, minus Japan, cybercriminal activity in these regions brings in so much revenue that it's factored into countries' GNP. Mr. Walker went on to explain that funding for this multinational group is from a region that has always been active in counter-American activities, more specifically, the Kingdom of Bahrain, which they fund the various groups through the revenue of their oil proceeds. This was first-hand knowledge in that during the 2025 World Expo in Osaka, Japan, Mr. Walker was asked to oversee the structuring and management of the Bahrain Pavilion. It was at this time that he had a conversation with Bahraini representatives that he was told firsthand that the Kingdom of Bahrain would like to change their focus away from the traditional activities such as oil, pearls, and support of terrorist groups, and focus on industries such as cybersecurity. Mr. Walker was specifically told that there might be cases in which people might come to the pavilion to express their discontent for the Kingdom of Bahrain in relation to their past as supporters of terrorist activities. More recently, the Kingdom of Bahrain has launched an aggressive image enhancement campaign as its public relations team has attempted to scrub all information tying Bahrain to their pro-terrorist supporter past and change the narrative of Bahrain to recasting themselves as a firm ally of the United States. The relationship between the Kingdom of Bahrain was shortly concluded, but not before Mr. Walker was witness to a human rights violation case that took place at the Bahrain Pavilion during the 2025 World Expo, involving their front company, BLR World. The Kingdom of Bahrain's front company, formerly known as Barker Langham Recruitment at the time, a British entity changed their name to BLR World in 2024. Their front company is responsible for being the front face of Bahrain with regards to engaging international business opportunities and world events such as the World Expo, Olympics, and linking into the English school market in Japan. BLR World was cited in a human rights abuse and violation case. A full investigation conducted through the grievance mechanism for the Code of Sustainable Procurement, administered by the Japan Association for the 2025 World Exposition, Expo 2025 Osaka, Kansai, Japan, which served as the official reporting and whistleblower intake framework for receiving complaints, disclosures, and allegations of non-compliance related to procurement standards established for the Expo, concluded the human rights infractions and abuse allegations to be true and credible. It was noted that the grievance committee attempted to contact BLR World more than 20 times with no response from BLR World. And BLR World completely abandoned the human rights case and accountability at a world event representing humanity. As we have the case evidence, we can say that the Kingdom of Bahrain is trying to use image manipulation to project a favorable image to maintain a connection to the United States and world markets. But that does not remove the hard facts of the infractions committed. Furthermore, it does not change the documented evidence of Bahrain cloning California businesses, then these cloned companies showing up in Iran, India, Bangladesh, Indonesia, and of the Kingdom of Bahrain itself. The fact that BLR World literally committed human rights violations that broke Japanese labor laws and international human rights laws, then walked away, then continued to be a part of global events for humanity, is an act that will not be tolerated. The values of humanity cannot be replicated by wearing a cheap mask of impersonation. It's a principle that is non-negotiable, and organizations need to be removed that have been proven unable to uphold humanitarian measures. This case has been shared with the current administration of the United States of America, as well as other leaders and members of the United States Senate. As a nation, Americans have got to understand that our nation is being actively targeted. The wealth of our life's work, our businesses, business culture, intellectual properties, ideas, concepts, and financial resources of individuals are being stolen directly from us. that our money that we have provided to Bahrain through oil transactions and exchange in technologies is being used to fund the Japanese hackers groups that control and coordinate the multinational cybercrime syndicate, comprising thousands of hackers. As stated, we have shared our findings and reports with the current administration and Senate members, which we have seen the decisive action by the Trump administration to sever all relations with the Middle East and redirect oil demand to the United States. Japan and nations like the Kingdom of Bahrain are in question. The 2025 Osaka World Expo whistleblower case and documentation make that clear. At this point, we would like to hear from you. If you are a person or your business has been affected by cybercrime, we want to hear from you. For the first 40 U.S. companies that contact us, we will perform a free industry-grade scan on your systems and address any vulnerabilities. Because we are a multinational economic development firm, we have international law enforcement and legal support to assist in recovering your losses. To further awareness in regards to the global threat landscape, we are hosting a weekly cybersecurity roundtable discussion to share industry developments and best practices for individuals and business owners. The United States is the resource provider of the world. We need to be vigilant with regard to how our resources are being used. Contact your local state representative and get them engaged with the failure of Japan's non-action. If you have information that may assist ongoing efforts, or if you would like to report a case, we encourage you to contact us directly. Cybersecurity professionals who are interested in contributing to our global cybersecurity team are also invited to reach out to explore collaboration opportunities. For those who wish to support our mission, providing global protection, investigative support, and recovery assistance, donations are welcomed. Please contact us via email so we can provide the appropriate instructions. Addressing and recovering our nation's losses on a global scale requires coordinated resources, and your support plays a meaningful role. You may contact us through our website at I.R.D.I. Business Group, LLC, www.IRDIworld.com, by email at voiceofamerica@IRDIworld.com, or through our Facebook page. Additional contact details are available in the description below. Do subscribe so you know when our next video is available in our series, America Under Attack, as we dive deeper into the issues. Thank you for watching.